my name is Pun, and I've had a bunch of random reading clips sitting on my camera for way too long, books I started and finished, cozy moments, chaotic energy, and I didn't want them to go to waste. So I decided to put them all together into one ultimate reading vlog. There will be lots of reading, of course, but also coffee shop hopping in Savannah, and we even go to our first film festival. This is a real little snapshot of my reading life lately. Hope you enjoy the cozy chaos. I'm currently reading You, so I'm going to finish this up first before I start on my other books. I'm on chapter 32, about 63% into this book, and at first I didn't really like it because I guess the book is doing what it's supposed to do. I didn't really like the writing style at first because it used a lot of second person, but now I am maybe starting to get into it. I wanted to read this first before I watched the show on Netflix just to see if I would like it, but I don't know. I guess I should mention the plot. It's about this guy named Joe that works in a bookstore, and this girl named Guinevere, or Beck for short, walks into the bookstore, and he just like kind of instantly becomes obsessed with her. So everything is in Joe's point of view, and we get to see how his mind works, and it's kind of creepy. He's a bit obsessive. His thought process is very speculative. Like, he will say, talking about Beck, he will say, you did this, you think this, therefore you're doing this to me, and it's creepy. So I guess the book is doing what it's supposed to do. I'm a completionist, so I gotta finish this book and then we'll get our final thoughts. Every character in this book has been unlikable. I like the character building on Joe. I could really understand how messed up he was, and his stalker tendencies, and his multiple personalities and all that. There weren't any really likable characters, so I didn't really care what happened to any of them. I personally didn't like the writing style and the conversation patterns. I felt like the use of the word you was kind of overkill, but at the same time, it adds to the fact that you are being stalked. So I guess the creepy vibes were achieved there. So yeah, for me personally, I didn't really like it, so I'm giving it 2 stars. The third book in the Knock 'Em Out, I don't know, series by Lucy Score just came out the other day, and I want to read that before I get into my other books. So hopefully this gets me out of a slump. I liked the other 2 books in the series pretty good. This is the last one in the series, and so far it's good. Like, if you've read the other books in the series, you know that Lucian and Sloane's relationship has been hinted a lot in the other books. So we're all excited to finally read about their relationship. About halfway it picks up, and it really picks up. I'm on chapter 24, 50% through. about 70% through the book, and I'm at the point where things kind of blow up between our two main characters, Lucian and Sloane. And Sloane is funny. She is not taking shit from Lucian. I like her. I like Sloane's character. I'm so excited. I am towards the end of the book, and I think this is the moment we've been waiting for. Oh my gosh, I am crying at this part. This is so perfect. I've just finished the book, and that was the sweetest story ever. There is a bonus epilogue, so I'm trying to figure that out. Okay, that wasn't much of an epilogue, but I'll take it. I sat down with my little coffee and I was just gonna read for a little bit, but then I ended up just finishing the book. Like, it's a bingeable book. My final thoughts and rating on this book, I give it 4.5 out of 5. This book gives you all the cozy small town, great friend group. It was a fun and cozy little read. There were some parts of it that were, you know, like kind of over the top and silly and unrealistic, but we're after the vibes here and the vibes were hitting. I loved the flashbacks we had between Lucian and Sloane, because it really shows you their past when they were younger, like in high school. That was that was cute, and I wish we kind of went into more of that to add more depth to their relationship, because their relationship was kind of disappointing in a way, because it was very physical, and I felt that it could be more emotional because they did have that past history. Obviously this is the last book in the series, so all the previous characters were in this book. The world was wrapped up nicely in this one. So my next read is Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I'm sure you guys have heard about this book. I am on chapter 8. I am 23% into the book. I'm not into it yet. You know, I guess it's still setting up the history between these two main characters. What are their names again? Harriet and Wynne. Okay, so those are the two love interests in this book. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about Harriet and Wynne. They met as mutual friends in college. They got engaged, and now it's time for another annual friend vacation in Maine. They've broken off their engagement, but they don't want to ruin the trip for their friends, so they've been faking that they are still engaged. Okay, so I am on chapter 21, 57% into the book, and I'm still not really into the story. Like, I think this group of friends are supposed to be like in their 30s, or at least the main characters are in their 30s. The amount of miscommunication between them is annoying. Like, you're supposed to be 30 years old. Talk and figure out your problems, you know? Like, it's getting old. Grow up. Literally, I roll way too sweet. He says, in every universe, it's you for me, even if it's not me for you.
All I want is just to have you a little bit closer. All I want you to be looking at me like you look at me. I keep telling myself it will happen eventually, and I keep holding on.
I have finished The Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I'm kind of sad to say, or disappointed in a way, because this book was so hyped up, but I'm gonna have to give it 2 or maybe 2.5 stars. I thought this book was gonna be a romance between Harriet and Wynne, and like we would see their character or their relationship development to that, but it was also about their friend group. The undertones of the story was really sweet, like the friend group vibe, but I just wished it was more focused on one relationship instead of just multiple relationships, like even between the friends. It felt kind of vague, so I wasn't ever really into one character or another. Another thing I disliked about this book was the miscommunication. Tiny little spoiler here, so I'll mark where you can skip ahead if you don't want to hear. Harriet and Wynne has supposed to have been together for 8 years and engaged and lived together and supposed to like be so in love and know each other, but he calls her up and ends the relationship over a 4-minute phone call. What? Like, make that make sense. I don't understand. How are you supposed to have been in a relationship with someone for so long and just ended over a few minutes phone call, and like the other person doesn't know why you've ended the relationship? Like the girl just accepts it, like Harriet just accepts it and doesn't even want to find out why he broke off the engagement with her and broke off the relationship. And he's supposed to be like this great character, and I just what? Like, you mean to tell me you go 5 months without talking and then you finally talk on your friend vacation, like on the vacation that all the friends take, and then Harriet doesn't tell her best friends that they've broken up because she's embarrassed? Like, I get it, but also at the same time it's like, these are her best friends. If you can't tell them what's going on in your relationship, like maybe they're not your best friends. Update on this book, The Bride Test by Helen Hoang. I am about 100 pages into this book. Not gonna lie, it started off kind of rough for me because the premise is kind of out of pocket. It's kind of wild. So this book is the second one in the Kiss Quotient series. This is the first one in the series. This one follows Kai, who is the cousin of Michael, the main guy in the first book. Kai is autistic. He doesn't know how to interact with people. He doesn't do relationships. He lost his best friend at a young age, so he doesn't do any type of close relationships with people. His mom's like, you know what, I'm tired of this. You're 26. It's time for you to get on with a relationship. She was visiting Vietnam, and she is like trying to find a girl to like hook him up with, and it's like so strange. Yeah, it was really strange and hard for me to, get into to begin with, but the way that the author kind of explained it, it gets better as you read it. 100 pages in, and I am interested. I'm at the part where Kai goes over to Kwan's condo and they have Michael on the phone. If you know that scene, this is pure gold. It is so hilarious. Kai really doesn't get it, and he's about to learn. I think I am back on my reading grind because, girl, I have been binging this book all day. don't mind me, I just got out of the shower, but I finally finished this book and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I really liked the characters. The premise was it took a little bit at the beginning for me to get into, but the characters were written really well. I read the author's note in the back of the book here, and she is a daughter of an immigrant. So her mom immigrated to America after the Vietnam War. Helen Hoang really uses that in her stories. It was a pretty interesting read to me. So far I am liking her writing. The characters are so unique. I love all her characters. They really have a lot of depth to them. For my next book, I am going to read this novella, Powerful, by Lauren Roberts, because I am excited to read Reckless. Now, it is summertime, and I am into my little summer rom-coms, but it is a rainy, thunderstormy day, so a little romanticy seems fitting. I just finished reading the first chapter and things are definitely interesting. Like, who is this Makoto? Is that how you say his name? I'm assuming it's a he. He said he knew what it was like to be in Kai's shoes. Who is he and what is he scheming? So far, I am enjoying this book, and the weather outside is really adding to the feel of this book. It's stormy outside, really thundering. I wish I could capture it on camera because it's the kind of thunder that just shakes the room, but it's fun to read too. I think this is doing a pretty good job at still keeping you interested because there is some stuff that we don't quite know yet. It's really interesting to learn about Adina. She's Peyton's best friend, of course. She's one of those happy-go-lucky people, and it's interesting to see how she is able to keep her positivity despite the life that she's living. And I think I'm about to read about the dreaded bowl scene, and I'm not ready. I'm gonna take a break and we'll come back to it because I don't think I'm ready for it. Not yet. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Ended up being also a 4 stars. If you read the first book, Powerless, you know what happens to this character in this book, so nothing new there. It was definitely interesting to get to know Adina and her personality. I definitely teared up a couple times in this book. I mean, I'm curious to see Makoto, Mack. I'm curious to see how his character, or if his character comes into play in the third book, Reckless, because his character was interesting, so I'm curious to see if he comes into the story, or if he continues to be in the story, but definitely. This book is pretty interesting so far. The writing style is different in the way that the author just kind of is like having a conversation with you. It kind of reminds me of The Fury by Alex Michaelides. Oh. Okay, so that last chapter I just read was pretty interesting. I feel like I'm like in on this little detective game here, trying to figure out who the killer is. This is getting interesting. I have a theory, but it's probably going to be wrong. And then I read Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Mack. And this book was such a fun read. I read this when I was in Tulum, and it was the perfect vacation beach read. It was a fun whodunit type of mystery, 4 stars. So my next read will be The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. All the books I've read by them I've rated highly. Love in Other Words, 6 stars. And Holidays, I really like that. And I don't know if I read any more by them, but I've always enjoyed their writing, so hopefully maybe this will be our 5 stars. We'll see. I have finished reading The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, and it's not a 5-star read, but it is close. I mean, I like the story. It was very entertaining, but there are some points personally that I didn't really like. I think for most of us, we read a story to escape the normal everyday. Especially for books like this, I don't need to be reminded of today's politics. And also it doesn't age well. The main female character, Anna, I do like her character, but as the story went on, she just kind of became preachy. Really, I think her character is only there to aid and back up Liam's character, and I loved Liam. One thing Christina Lauren can do is they can write a good male character. Anna was just kind of there to help his character progress throughout the story, because Liam did all the work in this story. Anna was just kind of there. So you see the cover, it's very beachy, right? But the story really dives into a rich family's dynamics. If you've seen the show Succession, that's a tongue twister. If you've seen that show, the family dynamic in this book is practically like that show, down to the siblings and the parents involved. And I think they even mentioned that show in this book, but it's a wealthy, rich family with problems. And Anna is the outsider that comes in. So she's like the outside looking in, seeing their life. The characters were interesting for sure. So it's not really much of a beachy summer read. It is set on a private island in Indonesia, so there's your beach setting. But other than that, it doesn't really give the summer feels. All of that to say, I think I am going to give this book 4 stars. And also this book is about, I'll just read a little snippet. It says, it's a delicious new romance between the buttoned-up heir of a grocery chain and a free-spirited artist as they fake their relationship in order to receive a massive inheritance. And the third act, conflict, breakup, is not annoying. If you want a great vacation read, this is the one. Every time I go on vacation, someone dies. That was the perfect poolside beach read. Now for my next book, I am about to go on another trip, and I think I might try reading Summer Romance by Annabel Monaghan. I hear a book is good and I get it, and I don't really look much into what the story is about because I like going into the book blind, so I don't have any set expectations. But we got a quote here from Abby Jimenez, and I love Abby Jimenez, but she says it's a bingeable 5-star read. How fitting. So benefits of a summer romance: it's always fun, always brief, and no one gets their heart broken. I've only just read the prologue of this book, and I'm already getting 5-star feels. So okay, Miss Carley Fortune knows how to write a man because Felix is a menace. I am unwell. His nickname is Wolf. Like, are we kidding? I've started reading Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I started this book last night. I was reading some today, or tried to for a bit when we were at the coffee shop, but didn't get too far. We are in Savannah for the SCAD Film Festival. So we saw a movie, a little bit earlier today. What was it called? Oh, it was Sing Sing. Before they started the movie, the actor had received some kind of award. I heard the cheering, but I missed it because I was in line for very important things: popcorn and a Coke Zero. Anyways, I missed it, but the actor was there and he did a Q&A after the movie. I've started Rewitched, and this one, it says, in this spellbinding, warm, and cozy debut novel, a burned-out witch will need to turn to her friends and trust herself to find the magic in her own life again. So this follows Belladonna Blackthorn hasn't lost her magical spark precisely, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. So when her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle fears the worst. So she has to prove herself as a witch or something. I don't know, but the cover looks so cozy. Maybe I can read this in a week, maybe not, because we have some movie showings that we'll probably go to more throughout the week, because it's a whole week of this film festival, and I've never been to a film festival before, so this has been interesting. I have not sat in a movie theater in forever. Years. I'm not really one to go sit in a theater and watch a movie. I like to be at home cozy with my own things, but it's still fun to be in a traditional theater with other people and just experiencing the audience reactions to the movie. We like trying all the different coffee shops in Savannah, and there's definitely quite a few coffee shops around here to try, so it's the perfect location for that. We'll bop around to different coffee shops. You'll see a little bit of Savannah too, so win-win for you. production.
And Demi Moore.
A moment on an airplane where a flight attendant, a young gentleman, came up and was thanking me for looking and changing how he was looking at his own life, things that he had been doing that were so.
Let me try this iced mocha. I think it's sausage and egg burrito. Oh, and potatoes in here too. Little breakfast burrito.
Paula Wallace and everyone at SCAD, this is a real honour, particularly because I'm playing a woman in Young Woman in the Sea who did something extraordinary 100 years ago. She did something that women were told they couldn't do. She overcame all of the odds to do that, and for the last 100 years has really been forgotten. So this film is a tribute to her, and to play her was wonderful. On behalf of the cast and crew of Young Woman in the Sea, this film was a real passion project, and to be able to share it in this room with all of you on this big old screen is really wonderful.
Like, talk about the training that you had to do to swim the way that you did.
I have not swum since.
Wrong with your aerial back here.
Today has been just a wonderful experience, getting to talk to you all, getting to see the campus.
This movie that you're going to see tonight, Night Bitch, it is based on a beautiful novel by Rachel Yoder, which came to me when I had just had my second kid. I had moved out of the city to live in the woods during the pandemic. I was very isolated, and my husband went back to work first, and I was home alone with two kids, and I read this book. And when you read a book, or you see a movie that feels like it really speaks to you, it's a cathartic experience. There's something about that makes you feel seen. We all know what that feels like when something really speaks to you. And that's how this novel was for me. And that's where this movie came from.
And I think it was just such a unique perspective and such a unique narrative. The tone of the book, if you've had a chance to read it, is so special and so singular. And I think
got some. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I am still in Savannah. We just moved from a hotel to an Airbnb now just to be a little bit more comfy, but it's time for a book update since I haven't given you one. I am slowly making my way through this book. Like I told you, it's a busy week with the film festival and all that. That has been fun. I guess I will have included the clips that I got at the film festival in here too. It was pretty cool seeing these well-known actors like Demi Moore and Amy Adams. That was pretty cool, and the movies have been pretty good so far. Like quality movies. The one with Demi Moore, The Substance, I think it was classified as horror, which it is because it gets pretty gory. If you don't like that kind of stuff, you might not like it. I thought, for the type of genre or the message that they were trying to achieve in that movie, I thought it was really good. That movie, Night Bitch, starring Amy Adams, is actually based on a book by, I think, Rachel Yoder or something like that. That book is definitely on my radar because that movie was pretty good. It was funny. Amy Adams did a good job. That movie was funny. It's got like adult humor because it explores the mother relationship and also the wife and husband relationship. It was a funny movie. The Young Woman in the Sea, starring Daisy. That was pretty cool seeing her too because I first saw her in that Star Wars movie. One of those newer Star Wars films. So it was cool just seeing all the actors and such. Even saw one Saturday Night Live guy like on the carpet. Anyways, let me tell you about this book I'm reading. All that to say, I haven't had much time to read. I haven't even made it halfway through the book yet. I'm on page 140, chapter 12. At first I wasn't into this book. It was kind of boring and I didn't see the point of it. I mean, of course, most books take about 100 pages before you get into it, and that's where I started to get into the character, Belle. So far, it's been a cozy, fun read. We are following Belle, and I think kind of the message behind this is just how she is navigating turning 30. And people are looking at her like, what did you do with your life so far? One thing that Savannah has is a bunch of cool little coffee shops. I am an iced mocha type of girl, so I've been having iced mocha at all these coffee shops, and so far I think my favorite mocha has to be at Java Burrito. The way they make it, or maybe the milk that they use, it tastes creamier. Like it's just more well-rounded and creamy and tastes good. Not to say all those others don't taste good, because they all taste great. The story isn't bad. It is interesting because you're just wondering if Belle is going to be able to pass the trials, prove herself to her coven, and keep her powers, or is it all going to be stripped away? It kind of parallels the real world in a way, you know, where you're just growing up, second guessing yourself, learning to believe in yourself, and finding your groove. So it's parallel lessons, so it's interesting. Right now, all I'm getting is really purely vibes, and it's probably about a 3.5.
Nothing better than a full theater, and nothing better than to somehow have a dream completed. You know, Bertolucci said the theater is the last place where 600 people can sit in the dark and dream the same dream. You're about to be able to do that. Like I said, I made it for you. I changed clothes in case you didn't like it.
It was history. It was actually the people from the time.
Good morning. Last night we saw Kevin Costner, and he is just as charismatic in person as he is on screen. That was probably my highlight of the week. His movie Horizon, I really enjoyed that. It's a good Western. But not much reading has been done. Too many events and movies to go to and see. Not much reading has been done yet, but that's okay.
But I do know that there's something that I would do again if I would start over, is that I would stay curious. Curiosity is the most important thing, and I think we live in a culture that curiosity is being threatened. Jackie, and then for some crazy reason I thought it was a good idea to make a movie about Diana, so we did Spencer. And then after those two movies, I thought to try to make a movie about someone that has really affected me deeply during all my life.
Hello everyone, I'm back home from Savannah. Savannah was a fun time. The film festival was so fun, but as you can hear, my sinuses are acting up, so bear with me. I wanted to give you an update on Rewitched. I'm on just the last 70-ish, 60-ish pages of this book, and it is getting so good. Right now, I'm feeling 4 stars. I was reading earlier and I was like, just one more chapter, just one more chapter. So it's gotten really interesting. I love all the characters in this book that make the story feel so cozy. All of them.